Well, hello there and welcome back. We have got a fabulous hour ahead of us because we've got a fabulous guest and a wonderful company revisiting us. And we've got the lovely Sammy from Caterpillar Crofts. Oh, should I say Cross Stitch? Caterpillar Cross Stitch, being quite specific there. How are you doing, Sammy?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me back on.
Well, this is it. Well, we worked together before. We had a very, very busy show, as I remember last time.
Yeah.
Seeing some of the items that we shared with you last time Sammy was here, but we've got some brand new items. And good news, you remember the little needle minders that Sammy brought to us that was so popular? We've got new additions to these, and as of course you'll probably remember, but there is a little needle keeper that kind of works alongside the different kits, and I love these.
Yeah, they were all designed with the cross-stitch kits in mind. The colours are the same as the threads, and the actual sort of the design itself is in the stitching, so it all matches.
Oh, brilliant. Now you will see these in action when Sammy is doing her demonstrations, but what you've got is a fabulous little magnetic needle minder. The idea being is you've your little character on one side of your hoop, and on the other side you've got your little magnet, but then it's somewhere for you to actually store your needle when you're not stitching. But we'll see those in action, but I know how popular they were. We had sellouts of these last time Sammy was here, so I wanted to get those in nice and early. But they're not the only new today. Sammy, you've got some new kits for us.
We have. We've got Oh Beehive. We've got All the Zest, which has got all our citrus fruits, Peace Dove, and then Hello Petal, which is our spring tree,
Lovely.
which has been really popular.
They're brilliant. Now, this is the first one that we're going to share with you, and I love this one. Straight away, you will notice with this one, you've got a different kind of colour of Ada fabric, which I love. It's like a lovely kind of soft grey with this one.
Yeah, not too dark, but
Yes.
it's just enough to make the colours really pop.
Beautiful, and of course that's important when you're looking at things like the white stitch detail that you've got on the wings, because on
Yeah.
a white day you wouldn't see it.
Yeah,
It looked
exactly,
like you've got no wings. Love it. So with your kits, talk us around what we're going to get within our kit, because you're going to get your fabric, you're going to get your threads and your pattern. Now the hoop is something that you could choose to actually display yours in. It doesn't come in a hoop, but they do look nice when they're displayed in them, don't they?
They do, and they were actually designed sort of with a hoop in mind. You could frame them, you could turn them into small little cushions, you could do anything really, but the design does lend itself to a hoop, given that it's kind of circular.
Beautiful. Now within this one, let me show you the pattern, because this is something that I love with your patterns. You add colour to these, so it's not just about the little kind of icons or the images that you've got for those stitches, you've got colours.
Yeah, so you've got the black or white symbols which are on top of the colour squares as well. So whether you prefer to just work from the colour chart, from the symbols, you've got the key, so it kind of covers all bases and it's really easy to follow.
I love it, and of course you have got some additional information there on the back of your sheet there, so if you've never stitched before, then you're going to get loads and loads of hints and tips on how to work with your kit, and I love that. Let's get stitching, let's do that indeed. Now I love this because all the threads are included and they're all carded as well. You don't have to worry about that.
The threads are all from DMC, based in France, which over the years of stitching with various brands, I found it to be the best one. The colours don't fade.
Yes,
if you want to wash the piece, the colours aren't going to sort of go anywhere. And it's ready sorted, so you get the exact lengths that you need of every single colour, so there's no wastage, but they are really generous amounts as well. So if you need to redo a little section, there's always plenty spare.
And I love this because sometimes when they're not carded and you've got to put them onto a card and there's 3 or 4 shades, like for instance here you've got those gorgeous golden tones. It's your interpretation of a golden yellow, isn't it? You might see it being that one, you might see it being that one. So this is the thing, it's already done for you, so you don't have to worry. Now with regards to the actual fabric, we're looking at 16 count with these?
Yes, they've all got 16 count Ada on.
Love it. Now, the only thing I need to mention as well, a little bit of housekeeping with regards to extended delivery. Just got an extra week with regards to these kits, but they're all worth the wait, and it's only the 22nd of May, so it's not too long to wait at all. So if you fancy getting hold of this one, Oh Beehive, I love this one. 528418 is your item number. Very affordable price. Don't forget to treat yourself to one of those little needle minders. I need to warn you, my goodness, we haven't even seen this one, but you're loving the little hedgehog. One of the most popular ones, already 10% of stock has gone. I'm going to bring in the needle from the first kit. I just need to pop this down just because I can't do it with a single hand. So let me get, the idea being is that when you are working, obviously the magnet on the back is going to go through to the back of your fabric and then you put your front on there. But the idea is it holds your needle so you don't lose your needle. Sometimes when you're feeding it through your fabric, because of the little holes in your Ada fabric, it can work its way free. But there you go, you can see. But if you wanted a hedgehog with a little scarf, 10% of the stock of that one has gone already. So we'll keep you updated with regards to those and pop that needle back in there. So as I don't forget, put it the right way around, then you won't pierce your finger, Hayley. Right, I'll leave that, I'll come back to that in a few moments. So, another new kit for you. This is zesty.
All the zest.
All the zest in this one,
The brightest shades I could find.
I love this idea. And it just looks so bright and happy.
Perfect for a kitchen, I thought.
Good idea, yeah. Do like that one. And I suppose that the thing is with this one, obviously you can create it as it is if you're wanting to, but because you've got all the threads, obviously you've got your Aida fabric there as well, but you could, if you wanted to, just take little segments of it, if you excuse the expression, and stitch them onto, I don't know, little tea towels and napkins and things like that if you wanted to.
Yeah, that would be really nice, yeah.
Love it. There you go. Again, a very affordable price there of £15.90. Everything that you need. You've got your pattern there, full colour, all of your threads, and of course your needle and your Aida fabric. I never know if it's Aida or Aida fabric. I used to call it Aida, but then I heard of the opera Aida, and they're both spelled the same. So you choose, you decide. 708 366 if you fancy getting hold of this one. Now, the next one is a beautiful design. And again, we're seeing that grey fabric with this one as well.
Yeah, it's the same grey as Obi Hive, but it's just really to make the dove and the snowflakes really pop.
Oh, it's such a pretty one. Really pretty. I suppose with the snowflakes you might think towards Christmas, but I suppose you use the dove in so many different scenarios, so many weddings as well. Yeah.
Or you don't necessarily have to stitch the snowflakes if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Or you could do stars or something.
That is a really good point.
But yeah, lots of uses for that one.
Very, very pretty design. And again, another one that's very affordably priced at £15.90. Just to reiterate again, they don't come with the hoop. The hoops are here for display purposes. But of course, if you do want to get hold of hoops, we will have those on the website. Check them out. So 490982 if you fancy getting hold of this particular one. Now, Hello Petal. This is the next set. It's not just a term of endearment, it's an actual kit that we've got. And this is a brand new one to us as well. And I love these. It's almost like you've got little components all coming together. I mean, when I think of cross stitch, I think of samplers.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a variation on the sampler, isn't it? With all the little characters, but in a design.
Yeah.
So sweet. Here you go. You can see all your little characters there, your little rabbit and your mouse and your fabulous little bird there. This is really cute. And is there a whole series of these?
There is. We have got Hello Sunshine, which is being released in about a month.
Oh, okay.
So we started off with the autumn tree, but then it was so popular that everyone said, you know, we need to have season trees.
Yes.
And we started off with the pumpkin, like you say, a term of endearment, and then it was deer, petal, sunshine. Yes. And some people have wanted to do all of them and rotate them throughout the year.
Beautiful, lovely idea. Now with this particular one, you've got the little bird there, as you can see. Well, shall I show you? Because you've got the little bird as your needle minder. So if you fancy it all coordinating, then don't forget you can add this in. They're only £9.99 and they are flying out. Lots of you taking advantage of these. And there is kind of a little design to work with each one of the kits. A few little bonus ones in there as well. Details are at the bottom of the screen if you're wanting those. But so the little bird there works perfectly because it's sized the same as the little bird that you've got featuring on here, and of course you've got the connotation there, and the little eggs featuring as well, all to do with springtime. Love it. £33.35. Really good value bundle, and again the pattern and everything that is in there that you need, and a lovely idea. I mean, I love the way that it's been stretched over a piece of board here. Could go in a picture frame then.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. There you go if you fancy yours. 023 511. So, hello dear. Notice a little bit of a theme going with these. Well, this particular one, again, similar sort of idea, similar sort of design, so beautiful to work alongside it. Now, incidentally, if you have stitched any of these fabulous kits previously, I would love to see what you've worked with. You'll notice that the little fox, we had that one last time, but I think this particular one we've not seen here before, have we, or have we?
I can't remember, to be honest.
Oh, I think we have seen it. Oh, Katie's just telling me. I think it must have just been on a different show because I don't remember seeing it, but it looks adorable. Very much a kind of Christmas theme, and I love this, the Hello Dear, and this time we're talking D-double-E. Oh, yes. Very clever. So cute. Love it. Absolutely adorable. Again, made up of all those little components, and again, just to reiterate, if you're looking for your needle minder, whoops-a-daisy, flying away, you've got the little robin. So a really nice little needle minder with these as well. You're liking this one as well. 10% of the stock has gone of your little robin as well. So if you fancy this particular kit, £34.89 is your price. 840852. But then we've got another one to show you, and this one is Hello Pumpkin. Really cute one, this one. And again, more autumnal tones with this one. So you can see you've almost got one of these for each kind of season, really, haven't you? This one, a really cute one. And again, the little fox, so sweet. Adorable. Absolutely lovely. Then you've got the owl as well, the little acorn there. And there you go. Can you see you've got your hedgehog in this one? So if you have gone for your hedgehog needle keeper, or needle minder, should I say, maybe this is the kit to go alongside it. 729149. You've actually got choices really with regards to the needle minder on this one, haven't you, Sammy?
It was the what have we got? We've got the owl, which I think we had on the first show that I did with you.
Yeah.
And then now we've got the hedgehog. So Mrs. Prickles doesn't have a headscarf in the design, but you have got those two sort of woodland creatures to choose from.
You have. Beautiful. Just to give you an update with regards to the hedgehog, 20% of the stock has gone, but whether it's the hedgehog that you're going for to go alongside this kit, or maybe the little owl that is tucked away in there as well. But the owl is a popular one as well, 10% of the stock having gone. So 729149 if you fancy getting hold of your kit. £33.49, considerable size piece, and of course you can make it into whatever you like. It could be that it's going to be part of a panel for a cushion, or maybe you're going to add a mount and turn it into an even larger picture. Can you imagine having a series of these in the room? Look amazing. Next one that we've got, and I love this one. I think this is such a versatile kit. Now obviously initially you've got the beautiful design here, Bloom and Grow, with all those gorgeous flowers, but they're kind of independent flowers almost, aren't they?
They are. Originally this design was actually a stitch along, so everyone stitched each flower in each pot, one a month. But now of course it's available as a full kit, so you could just break it down in that way to make it really manageable.
And again, everything is there that you need. So all your threads, you've got your pattern there as well, breaking down each one of those fabulous flowers. So it might be that you're stitching a little flower in the evening or something like that, setting yourself a little bit of a challenge, or maybe a week to complete one of those flowers in each of those pots, or it's entirely up to you. It's your kit, you can decide. And it's a nice project sometimes to break away from a larger piece if you've got something that's going to take quite a lot of your time. And some cross stitches, they can take years to put together, can't they?
Yeah, some
really
of the big
large
ones, yeah.
This occasion, which of the little needle minders are you going to go for? I think naturally drawn to the floral one that you can see there. So again, £9.99 for your needle minder to go alongside your Bloom and Grow kit. But if you are wanting your kit, £34.89 is your price. 742970. Now, if you're going for a couple of these kits, quite easily your basket will get to £60 or more. So don't forget about FlexiBuy, spreading the cost over 2 payments. And the last one that we've got for you, this is something that we're revisiting, and this one was incredibly popular the last time that we saw this one, and I know this is what we're going to see in our first demonstration. Positivity rules. I just love the concept behind this one, Sammy. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, people have hung this sort of in their lounge or in their hallway. You can stitch, like you say, with the flowers, you could just stitch one word a week or every few weeks and just do it one stage at a time. But just to kind of remind us of those lovely phrases and words.
And I think this is lovely for anybody. Maybe you've got somebody that's going off to university later in the year. This might be something that you could be stitching on the way up to them leaving home, something that they can put in their room and kind of think about home. Might be somebody moving into a new home, maybe somebody that needs a little bit of encouragement and a few words of endearment, as you can see there. Love it. £34.89. It is a brilliant kit and wonderful value again. 539806. Now, of course, Caterpillar Cross Stitch has its own brand section with loads of fabulous things on the website. So there you will find all the beautiful elements that we've been chatting about. That is the key thing. You can shop here anytime you like. There are some reviews as well, so if you are wanting to get hold of a little review of like-minded stitchers, just to see what they think of the kits and how they go on, then of course you can check those out. Some of them you won't see reviews, some of them are brand new items, but have a little look at those stitch minders. They are so popular, and you will see different ones each time Sammy comes to us, so do check those out on the website as well. If you need inspiration, as if you need any more inspiration, we have got books available for you as well. And don't forget, check out our 7-day savers, because you have got some fabulous little kind of embroidery scissors that you can use to cut your threads there as well. So Sammy, what have we got in our demo?
So I think we're going to do positivity rules first.
Lovely.
And you can see here some sort of samples and bits and pieces that I've done previously, which correspond to the rainbow up here and the word kind.
Okay.
So what you're going to be doing is when you get your full kit, we want to start really in the middle of the pattern because it's going to be the easiest way to keep track of everything. And with the fabric, fold it in half and half again to find the centre, and then correspond that to the centre of the pattern, which has two sort of bold red lines, and they cross here on this particular design around the heart right in the middle. The symbol on that is a black circle. So if you look at the key, which we've got here, we know that that is the thread. You don't necessarily need to know the code, but it is DMC code 351, and that particular colour is in hole 4 on the thread holder. So I've already got this out ready. And this particular thread comes in 6 strands, but on 16 count Ada fabric, we only need to stitch with 2. So I'm just going to separate that out. Now this is the tricky part.
Now, any tips with regards to separating these?
I mean, it's very controversial. There's lots of different ways that people do it. People pull one strand out. I tend to separate them at the top and then hold both of them and then just run my finger, but it does twist.
Okay.
So I just run my finger down like that. I mean, you wouldn't normally have a piece that long. They say to work with something the length between your hand and elbow.
Oh, right, okay.
I think that's to make it easier when you're sort of pulling it through.
And I suppose it is very tempting to kind of have a really long piece so you don't have to keep changing your threads. But from personal experience, they can kind of twist and wrap around themselves because it's the nature of the twist that you've got there. So,
much more likely to knot as well.
Exactly, yes.
So we just leave the loose end. And the first thing, I mean, we'll just sort of position it here for now, is to come from the back to the front. And as long as you're starting roughly in the middle, you'll be absolutely fine on the fabric. So we come from the back to the front, and I'm just going to hold that tail with that back finger.
Okay.
And we start in the bottom left-hand corner of the stitch, which is the bottom left-hand hole, and come down again through the top right-hand hole. So you've got a half stitch.
Okay.
And then we're coming back up again through the top left-hand corner and down again through the bottom right-hand corner. And that is the first cross stitch.
Fabulous.
What you can do to save time is if you know you've got 10 in a row or 10 vertically in a column, is do them all in half stitches in a row and then come back down again over all of them.
So when you're actually working with these designs, are there any half stitches that you're just leaving or any additional stitches? Are they all just complete crosses?
Everything's full cross stitches on here. I wanted to make the designs really accessible to everyone, beginners, more experienced, and sometimes it can be a bit intimidating if there's back stitch or half stitches and what have you. This way you only need to be able to literally do a cross with the thread and you're away. That's all you need to remember.
I love it, there you go, nice and easy.
So I'll do a few half stitches just to show you what it would look like. And it does make it a bit quicker as well. But it's just a really lovely, relaxing thing to do.
This is clever because, as you see here, you're doing those half stitches and covering a larger area if you've got a run of them. So how big an area would you stitch doing this particular method? I mean, would you do, I don't know, just 5 stitches, 20, 100? Does it matter?
What if you were using the same colour?
If you're doing this kind of technique and you're doing them kind of en masse of one colour?
I mean, to be honest, you could do it just until the thread runs out.
Oh, right, okay.
Sometimes what I like to do, if you were doing the heart here, is you might want to find it easier to count, is doing the outline.
Right.
So it's easier to see that you're going 1 up, 1 up, 1 up, 5 across, 1 down, 2 down, 5 down.
So do the outside and then fill it in.
You have to think about and count, and then if you're watching TV or whatever you're doing, all you know is you're just filling in the outline, the inside.
That's a good point, colouring in with the stitches. And also the open area that you've got with this particular one as well, and I've noticed that you don't have to fill this in. Sometimes when you're looking at patterns, you've got to fill in that kind of white area, but with this one, and it is lovely that you have got the fabric showing through, because I think that adds to the design, doesn't it? So you can see with this one, you're just stitching where the colour is applied. It's a popular kit, this particular one. 10% of the stock has gone, and it's just a lovely one. And of course, you can go on after you've created this one, use the pattern to take inspiration from the different elements, I suppose, couldn't you, if you wanted to?
You could, you could use the design and then stitch one word on something else.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, give it as a gift, on a card, a bookmark,
nice,
whatever you like.
And that's it. You could make this as a gift and then make a card to work alongside it, couldn't you? Choosing just one of those little elements there. Love it. At 539806 if you're wanting to get hold of this particular one. Some beautiful colours you've chosen for this one, Sammy.
Thank you. Yeah, wanted that one to be really, really bright. It was actually designed around this time last year.
Okay.
So everyone needed a bit of a boost.
Yes, yeah.
And we were all in our homes and needed a reminder that, you know, we've got the rainbows, the sun will shine again, all to remain positive and patient.
Lovely.
So I'm just coming back down over these now and completing these full stitches.
Okay.
And once you've done, like I said, the outline or the half stitches, you really don't need to think about it that much. It kind of takes your mind off anything. It's really relaxing, and you can't really go too wrong because the fabric's gridded, so all you're doing is following the design.
Nice and easy, and I love this. Now, how long have you been cross-stitching for, Sammy?
Well, I think I first cross-stitched when I was probably about 7 or 8. I first designed some pieces, well, I think when I was about 13, and I did them for my 3 sisters.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure how I got my hands on the materials, but I thought I'll do them a poem, and I only had a few scrap bits of thread hanging around, and they were all kind of browns and oranges. So I did them in their hair colour, because they were sort of brown, ginger and blonde. And then I'd done them these poems, which they're very messy. But I've been running the company for nearly 6 years now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's sort of grown, and we've got more designs and more products and everything. So yeah, it's my life.
Sally, they're all beautiful, they really are.
Thank you.
And you've certainly got an eye for creating your patterns and designs with these ones. And I know my viewers love them as well. So was there any more you wanted to show us with regards to that?
I can show you sort of how to finish off.
Okay.
And with the backs, it does not matter how messy or neat they are. I know some people are quite particular, but as long as you haven't got threads running across the back that you can see from the front, it doesn't matter too much. So when you've finished a section, all you need to do is just run the needle through a couple of stitches, and that will secure it to the back. So it's just gone through a couple there. You don't need to tie any knots or anything, because then if you're finishing off, that's going to show. If you've got it, it won't sit flat. And then all I'm going to do with my needle there, these are the strongest magnets that we could find in the world.
Brilliant. And you've got the little toucan.
And it literally flies on. We had someone move house, and she had all her projects, and she forgot, she had the needles like this, and she forgot to move them.
Okay.
Moved house, days later, everything was completely still in position. So, you know, whatever you need to do, change colour, answer the door, make a cup of tea, they will stay there, and it's not in the sofa or the floor.
So for anybody that's unfamiliar with these, how do we attach them to the fabric?
So it will come like this on the backing card. So they're all sort of stamped on the back, and that the one half of the magnet, if you like, is really securely glued down, and then the other one just attaches. So all I would do is slide that off, and then it simply clips on. So you can move it around.
One on the bottom, yeah.
Alternatively, if you didn't want it on the inside of the hoop, you could just have it on the outside.
Ah, clever, yeah.
Or you could have it on your sleeve.
Yes.
You could have the magnet underneath. Yeah, anywhere really.
It's a clever idea.
As long as we know where the needles
they're coordinated. The little toucan works perfectly with the piece that Sally's been stitching out. I know we've had other designs as well, but to be honest, any of them look adorable. You could almost have the little owl sitting on the roof, couldn't you, as you're working if you wanted to. Now, this particular one you are loving. £34.89 will get you your kit for your positivity rules, but 20% of the stock has gone. So if you like the look of this one, please be quick. 539806 is the item number for this particular one, and of course then it's down to which of those needle minders you're going to go for. Oh, they are all so adorable, and to be honest, I think there's something that you're going to kind of collect over time. So it might be that you're going for the positivity rules, but you like the look of the little chicken, you've not got that one in your collection. You could over time collect all of these, and some of these are new ones to us here, and they've been very, very popular, especially the little hedgehog as well. So shall we give you some little updates with regards to these ones? So the chick, rapidly approaching 10% of the stock, and of course this works with some of the beautiful trees we've been looking at. The toucan, you're liking the bright colours of the toucan. 20% of the stock has gone of that particular one. The little hedgehog, Oh my word, 60% of the stock has gone. So if that is your chosen needle minder, then you need to be really, really quick. That particular one is the most popular of all of them, but they're all adorable, to be honest. Next one, you've got the little owl. The owl, absolutely adorable. This particular one, a third of the stock has gone, and we do love owls, don't we? And then the robin. Oh, such a cutie. Perfect if you are going for the winter tree that we've been talking about. But with that one, sorry, what was the update again? Over 20% of the stock. Wow, popular one again. And then, of course, the florals. I mean, the florals is a lovely one. If you're giving it as a gift to somebody, that's the other thing. Because if you know somebody who is a stitcher, but you don't necessarily know what they're working on at the moment, I don't think you can go far wrong with the little flowers there. And approaching 10% of the stock has gone of that one. So whichever you go for, you are going to be in very good company. And they're all on the same item number, 788976. But, of course, some of those are brand new ones to us, as are some of the kits. So do have a little look at some of those. But we're going to go back over to Sally, I believe. So anything else you wanted to show us, Sally?
So I think we're going to demo Bloom and Grow.
Lovely.
I think so we've got our poppies there.
Beautiful. I do like poppies as well. They're such a pretty flower.
Well, when I was choosing which one to sort of do that sample for, I thought, you know, who doesn't love poppies? So I think first thing here, I'm just going to cut the thread first to show you the sort of length. If you are a complete beginner, you might want to work with a shorter length just because it makes it a bit more manageable.
Okay.
So we'll do that for this one. And also with the needle minders, like you say, if you want to give them as a gift,
yes,
it's not just for cross stitch. It could be someone who's into embroidery, it could be a dressmaker, any sort of sewing whatsoever. Anything that requires a metal needle could get lost.
That's true.
And
that's
could,
true.
you know, injure someone. So it's really about keeping them safe, and it's about just enjoying the experience of stitching without worrying that it's in sort of the carpet.
And I did forget to mention, they do come in a little drawstring bag as well, so it makes them even more of a gift. So let me just move the finished design out of the way. So these are so cute, as you can see with these ones. Now, of course, any of those that you're choosing to go for will come with a little bag, and choices are, just in case you have joined us, all these fabulous little characters here. So whichever one you choose to go for, then it will come in a little bag there, which is perfect. Whether it's just for yourself, I mean, that's somewhere you could be keeping your threads and things, isn't it, if you wanted to? Or it could be a case of that you're keeping, I don't know, buttons or anything in there, really. It's up to you, isn't it? But it comes with your little needle minder in there, as you can see. Always very popular. And as I say, the little hedgehog, if that's your chosen choice, then you need to make sure you're getting involved nice and early. And of course, I don't know if you spied, but showing you the piece that we're working with at the moment. And this is, it's actually the poppies that we're seeing coming together at the side here as well. And I just love this. It's just so colourful and happy. Love this. So, sorry, Sally, the little flowers, the poppies.
Yes. So this is a sample that we've stitched first of all. And again, we're looking at the pattern and going to find the centre. Now, these are spread over 2 pages so that they're big enough to see.
And that's good, because you could have made it smaller and then you've got to really squint to find the places.
And you don't want to be sort of, you know, squinting or struggling. You just want to relax and enjoy it. So there is some overlap as well, which is shown by the red lines here. So it's basically, if you wanted to take them apart and stick them together, you could. And
you've got the little triangles at the top and the bottom to show the centre points as well, haven't you? Yeah.
Just to make it really obvious. So they follow the red lines. You've got the arrows on the left and the top. So if you wanted to look there and follow them down into the middle, so the centre of this pattern is just at the bottom of this sunflower. Okay. So that is symbol, what have we got here? We've got a black square and a circle. And we're just going to look at the key.
Okay, don't worry. It's got our attention now.
Which corresponds to the key here. So we're stitching with this colour, which is the gold. Which is in hole 13, already sorted for you, and you just want to select 2 strands. I've threaded the needle here, and these are all DMC branded needles that come in all of the kits.
Oh wow.
So they are the best quality. They're not going to sort of, if someone has a skin condition or a problem with certain metals, they're not going to cause any issues. They're not going to snap or bend over the time.
Brand, isn't it? The thing that I love with these kits as well is you actually detail the thread colour, so if anybody wants to go on and create more of these, then they can get those threads.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's very generous amounts in
there's more than enough.
We have them all test stitched. We measure exactly how much you need, and then we add on another couple of meters.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. So again, we're going to start from the back to the front. We will just do this one up the top here. So coming up with the needle in the bottom left-hand corner, and I'm just going to hold that still You can use a different method for starting, which is called the loop method, where you just use one single strand.
Okay.
But this is the most traditional method, so we'll just stick with this for now.
And when you're moving from one area to another, how big a jump should you do? I mean, obviously you're demonstrating here, so you've gone to a completely different part of your hoop. But if you were working with the poppy, just move slightly to the side?
So what I would do is, for example, with the sunflower here, if you know you've got the full coverage of that section and you've got these sort of intermixed petals here of the sunflower, which are done in the gold, which is sort of the slightly darker, and then the lighter yellow, you can carry the threads along the back because you're not going to see them because you've got other colours in between.
Yes.
What I wouldn't do, particularly on white fabric, is carry a thread from this sunflower here up to the top sunflower.
Right.
Because you might see that behind, especially if you'd finish it off on a white foam board. But within reason, otherwise you're going to be stopping and starting too many times.
Okay, fair enough, thank you.
So with here, these are really small sections, and the fact that you're counting, you know, it's not difficult to do. You're just sort of counting 5 up and 3 on the next column, and it means you can't sort of worry about anything else.
Yes.
You're sort of focused on that one thing. So you can, like I say, do rows, or you can just do single stitches at one time. It's completely up to you. With these threads, there's no variation in the colour whatsoever, so it's not going to matter if you're doing rows or anything. So here I am going downwards.
I know lots of people use different accessories with regards to like magnetic rulers on the on the patterns. And incidentally, it's just suddenly popped into my head. We've got magnetic sheets on our 7-day saver, so you can cut those with your guillotine and almost use them as a ruler to highlight the row that you're on or the segment that you're working
absolutely.
with.
And some people use a marker on the pattern itself. I mean, if you're only using it just for the once, it doesn't matter so much to mark off where they've stitched already.
Yes,
and you can get little lights just in case you wanted to stitch if you had poor lighting. But the best thing is to do, find a comfy chair, find some natural light, try and sit near a window, and that's going to make it as easy as possible.
And what sort of feedback do you get from people that have stitched your kits?
Oh, we get wonderful feedback. I mean, we absolutely sort of love the community.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's lovely. We get people that have been stitching their whole lives, who have been stitching maybe more traditional or old-fashioned designs, who say, you know, this is a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
We get people who have never thought of cross-stitching, but just know that they are having a stressful day at work and they just want something to zone out.
It kind of takes your mind to somewhere else, doesn't it?
It really does.
You're concentrating on what you're stitching.
But you're also then creating something beautiful to have at the end of it, rather than, I don't know, I mean, baking, we all love baking, but, you know, it's gone then, isn't it?
Yes.
This way, you've got that sort of memory, and if you do hang it on the wall or give it as a gift or as a cushion or whatever it might be, it's something to be really proud of, and it's really satisfying.
Sometimes these are kind of projects, what I call breakaway projects as well. I think it must have been about 3 years stitching out a design of a water pump, and shades of blue. Sometimes you can have like 10 shades of a particular colour to get that realism, and you've got really, really focus with those, and it's a big project. Sometimes it's nice to have something that you can come away with, and with this one, obviously you've got your colour changes, but you can see those colour changes sometimes a little more so in a style like this design, which means that you can kind of do the stitch, which is the thing that you love, all that sewing, but you haven't got to kind of, well, I wouldn't say you haven't got to concentrate, because obviously you have, but it isn't a case of that you've got to make sure that those different shades, where sometimes there can just be a tiny difference in the colour, can be quite difficult for you to concentrate on. So yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Love these, obviously the different flowers. I'm not sure what style of flowers these ones are, but I love that. It's almost like a dappled look that you've got with those ones that feature in there as well.
Yeah, and like you say about sort of concentrating, do you know what, with some of these flowers, if you did go a little bit wrong, I don't think it would particularly matter.
True, actually, yeah.
Make it completely personal and unique. You know, if you sort of went a couple of stitches,
one or two
flowers
off,
aren't all the same, are they?
That's true. Beautiful. And again, all of the kits stitched over 16 count, so nice and easy. So, and that again, that's something that does make a difference, because the different size of the count can change the different size of the picture altogether.
It does. So the larger the count, so 14 count or 12 count fabric, the actual project would be larger when it's finished. These ones are slightly smaller. All of the finished sizes are detailed on the outside packaging. So if you did want to get a frame or materials for finishing off, you know exactly how big it's going to be. But it's gridded fabric. You can see the holes quite clearly. So all you need to do is make sure the needle's going through a hole.
And it's a nice size, the 16 count, because whether you're a seasoned stitcher or a new stitcher, or maybe you're moving on from some of those larger kits with which are more visible, shall we say, with regards to like your 12 or your 14 count, and you're wanting something that, because whether you've got the smaller count, you get more definition, you get more fluidity, it's less blocky, for the want of a better phrase, when you're working with a finer count, and you get that gorgeous flow between the different pieces, which is what you see so much in these designs.
It is one of the most popular fabrics that we do, because it is kind of that nice middle ground.
Yes.
So I've just jumped here. You can see I've come across to the next petal. I've just moved from one to the next. But that's not going to matter at all, because we've got a lighter yellow in between, and I've still got the needle threaded. I think the fewer times that you're taking it out and rethreading it again, it's going to be easier.
Okey-doke. Now, with regards to this, we have got a mention of extended delivery on your screen. It's looking at the 22nd of May with regards to this one. But that's what happens is Sally is taking the stock and sending it to us, and then we dispatch it, oops daisy, on behalf of Sally. So it's kind of just accommodating for that. And of course, it does include your weekend as well. So we're looking at Saturday. So a couple of those days are going to get swallowed up over the weekend. So it's kind of the middle part. Is it the middle of next week, the 22nd, or is it the week after? I've lost count. It's 7 days, isn't it? So it's going to be, about next weekend that you will get hold of these. So, it's something that we need to consider, obviously, with regards to the delivery of these ones. But to be honest, we'll get them to you as soon as we can. So they may well arrive before then anyway. We'll just say that as a bit of a kind of guideline, really, to give you an indication. The wind in the right direction.
It is. I mean, we have absolutely everything ready. So it's ready to ship to you guys on Monday.
Oh, there you go.
So they're all prepared. So yeah, it could well be sooner than that. But it's a patience kind of, it's a mindfulness thing.
It's all about having,
it's not, it's all part of it, isn't it? Waiting for something and then get a real treat on the doorstep when it arrives.
And with regards to the kits and the ages of the kits, I mean, people who've bought your kits previously, what sort of age range are we looking at?
Our average age is actually 42.
Okay.
There's so many thousands of stitches in the community. We know now from the data, but in terms of the range, the youngest, we do have junior kits, which haven't been on yet, which are for 7 to 11-year-olds. But then, I mean, for these particular kits, probably someone from teenage onwards, just because it's slightly finer with the fabric. Yeah. But from 10 to 100.
And quite often at that age, they're wanting something with a little bit of a challenge, but also that kind of grown-up element to them as well. I think that's the key thing when you get to teenage
junior ones
stitchers.
they kind of have done, and then it's right. Okay, I want a challenge. Next thing, let's up the game.
Love it. I mean, all of the kits are proving to be very popular. The Bloom and Grow kit, a beautiful one with all those different florals in there as well. But we've got so many other kits that you can be having a little look at the same time as well. Oops, I keep going to knock that one over. Keep leaning on it. I'm going to put it down before I break it. Now, just while you're stitching there, Sally, I'm going to give our guys a little bit of a recap with regards to some of these, because we've got some brand new kits and we've been busy for the needle minders as well. So the floral one is a perfect one to go alongside this particular kit, isn't it? The gorgeous little flowers on there. But you've got all the others, so you could use any of them. It might be that you've got a particular liking of owls, which is a very popular one. Over half the stock has gone of the owl. Whichever one you go for, what you've got is a fabulous little character with a magnet on the back there, and the idea is that it holds on to your needle. Now, the hedgehog is one that has been very popular throughout. It's the first time that we've seen this one. 70% of the stock has gone of that particular one as well. I must admit, I do like the toucan. I think I like the bright colours on that tropical look. And the little robin as well, it's another cute one, and in fact I like them all. I might as well just admit it. There you go. And I think they are kits that, or needle minders that you will collect over time. Might be that you're getting one, as I say, to coordinate with a kit that you're working on. And if you're working on several kits at the same time, then obviously look to get a different needle minder, because there's no point in taking it from one kit to the next. The whole point is that it keeps the needle with the thread all threaded up, ready for you to start stitching on each one of those kits that you're working with. So if you're wanting to get hold of these, 788976. But of course, we have got new kits as well, and the Obi Hive one that we've got here, which is lovely, on that kind of soft grey, beautiful grey, as you can see there. This one is proving to be a popular one. Now, just to reiterate what you're getting in your kit, you're going to get obviously your fabric, your 16 count fabric. On this occasion, you're going to have the grey tone, and the grey tone has been chosen because there's so many white areas on here that could quite easily be lost in an ivory or a white fabric. You've obviously got your comprehensive pattern, all colour printed. So you can see straight away where you are working with, but you have still got your little icons there. So if you do like to work with your icons, then you've got those in there. It also gives you the different threads, all DMC threads, so brilliant quality, but gives you the item numbers there. So if you do want to go for your different threads to create more, but you have got a very generous supply of threads in the kits. And of course, you've got your little crib sheet there to help you with it as well. Fabulous as a kit to give as a gift to somebody. All you need to do is add in the way that you're wanting to display. It might be that you're going to add in a hoop from our website to display it that way, or you may well pop it into a frame, but you are going to get all of your threads all carded and ready to go. So that particular one, £15.90 is your Obi Hive kit there, 528418 if you wanted that one. Now your zesty one, all the zest in one place. You're liking this one as well, beautiful colourways, and I love this one. It's one that makes your mouth water almost, isn't it, when you look at it. 708366, again a really good size piece with this one, and again a nice fun one, whether you're stitching it in its entirety to keep it as a design together, or kind of taking out those different segments and using them. This is, I think, it's brilliant choices of colour. I mean, Sally's got it to a T, the colours for the different elements there. So 708366. Ooh, which is your favourite now? Lime, you've got your lemon in there, you've got your orange there, you've got your grapefruit in there, you've also got a little slice of watermelon. I like my watermelon, I must admit. Ooh, on a hot day. 708366 if you fancy this one. Now, the next one that we've got for it, this is beautiful, and this is a lovely one. Maybe if you're stitching and giving the finished item as a gift to somebody, this one you've got your little pea stuff, and you can see around it little kind of snowflakes, but they could be stars, they could be little flowers that you're wanting to put in place, or you might want to leave that area kind of blank and actually use an alphabet to actually embroider somebody's name or the date of their birth or a marriage, whatever you want to. It's a really pretty design, and of course doves are always popular, aren't they, for different kind of projects. So £15.90, 490982 if you're wanting to get hold of that particular one. We've got some larger kits as well. So with regards to these ones, they're nice manageable sizes when you're stitching in front of the TV, something that you just kind of keep in the drawer and just pull it out when you're ready. But these particular projects are beautiful. Again, you're working on a little at a time, so it could be something, again, you're stitching in front of the TV, but the finished item is beautiful. Now, we've got a series of these trees in a variety of different formats. This is the latest release, and this is your spring one, spring themed, and it's called Hello Petal. You'll notice that hello word pop up in a few of these. Loads of different elements in here. I love the way that they all kind of fit into the canopy of the tree, as you can see there. All very much spring themed, really, really pretty designs. With this one, you've kind of got your little chick there, and don't forget your chick on the nest with the little eggs, you've got as your needle minder as well. So if you're treating yourself to this kit, I would certainly consider adding in your little chick needle minder. To be honest, you could go for any of those if you wanted to. The little hedgehog features in there, if you wanted to pop that one in, you could do. Oh no, the hedgehog's in the next kit, I do apologise, but they'd all work together, wouldn't they? Beautifully. 023511 if you are wanting that particular kit. And again, extend it by adding a mount, put it into a larger frame, and you've got quite a considerable piece there for a very good price. Next one that we've got, this is a really sweet one. Again, Hello Dear, but this time we're looking to winter with lots of elements there, like your poinsettias in there. You'll still see some of those little connecting factors, so you can see the bunny rabbit coming across there. A few little autumnal elements there as well, pine cones featuring a little bit of holly as well. And the beauty of this one, you've got your little robin, and I'm sure you'll remember, but you've got your little needle minder that is a robin. And the robin featuring here is the same size as the robin that will appear within your piece. Same colours, everything is made beautifully to coordinate, so I'd certainly consider adding one of those in as well. 840852 if you're wanting your Hello Dear kit. And then the tree, this one is the autumnal themed one, so this one is Hello Pumpkin. I'm guessing and I'm hoping that we're going to get a summer themed one coming at some stage as well. So this one could be the one that you're going for today. Again, you can recognise that owl. The owl, again, we've got as a needle keeper, but it might be that you're wanting to use a hedgehog, because I think hedgehog features in here, although without a headscarf. Lovely design again, beautiful colours, and keeping that theme going. I think the theme of each of these seasons beautiful within these particular kits. So if you're wanting your Hello Pumpkin kit, or you may have already got this one and you're adding one of the others in, 729-149 will get this particular kit on its way to you. And as I say, don't forget your little owl to go alongside it. At £9.99 at the bottom of your screen, your needle minder, as you can see there, beautiful. Now, the kit that we left our lovely Sally working with all those gorgeous florals, is this next kit. This one is beautiful. Blooming beautiful. In fact, it's Bloom and Grow. £34.89. You've got all your gorgeous florals in there. Some of them I'm sure you will recognise, your beautiful sunflowers and your poppies as well. And I love the different pots that you've got with these. Really beautiful designs. Again, if you wanted to go for this one, be aware that 20% of the stock has gone. It's a popular one because it kind of will work for anybody, won't it? I mean, the colours that you've got here, they'll look beautiful in any room if you're popping it into a frame. Equally so, if you're giving it as a gift, either stitched or as a gift, a kit as a gift, then yeah, you're not going to go too far wrong, because people love flowers, don't they? And that's why you might want to get hold of the little needle minder as well, with your floral elements on there as well. £34.89 for your kit, £9.99 if you wanted to add in your needle minder, and the details are all on your screen there. Now the last one, you've been loving this kit. This one, Positivity Rules, and I love this because this one, I know cross stitch sometimes, very traditional in style. We've got some really fun and funky designs in the hour, and I love this one, quite a strong design with a brilliant connotation behind it. So Positivity Rules. The update on this particular one, sorry Katie, what was the update on this one, sorry? Approaching 30%, and we had good stock of these ones as well. So yeah, nice one, and a nice easy one because it's kind of got little segments of this one. So it could be a word that you're stitching a week, and maybe that is your achievement for that particular week, your goal for the week, to do little elements of this one. Well, there you go, brilliant one to go for. 539806. It's kind of I was learning that this week about well done me. Well done me, being little projects you set yourself perhaps at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month. And at the end of the month, you kind of say, yeah, well done me, I did it, I did it. If you fancy that particular kit, then of course there's many others you can consider. But if you're wanting to add in some scissors that are going to help you snip those threads, then don't forget we've got a 7-day saving. And this is a brilliant little bundle. It's been a popular one as well. So with this one, you've got your curved embroidery stitch scissors in there, perfect for cutting your threads. You've also got your micro tip scissors, which are going to go right into the closeness of your fabric if you're wanting to. Then if you are doing your traditional sewing, or maybe you need to do a bit of unpicking, you've got your safety stiletto there where you can unscrew it, pop it into the handle for safety, and then you've got your seam ripper there as well, all coming to you for £19.99. But of course, same as any of those 7-day savers, the prices will go up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we'll bring you some brand new ones. So if you want to pop that one into your basket, you can do. Right, we're going to come back over to Sally. What are you up to?
So I've nearly finished the gold colour thread here on our sunflower.
Lovely.
So you can see here that I'm sort of building it up, and it's not difficult at all to kind of count across. So if I need to go to a next section, I just think, okay, that's one up, one across.
Yes.
And then you sort of know where you're going. And you can also see on the back how, you know, the threads have been pulled across, but you're not going to see that at all.
Okay.
And also with this fabric, it is by Zweigart, which is handmade, well, it's not handmade, it's by Zweigart in Germany. And again, it's the best quality fabric. It doesn't fray. This is sort of the orange stitching is sort of the sign of the quality.
And do you suggest that you put it into a hoop when you're working with it?
Not necessarily. I mean, these are just in hoops because it's easier to kind of transport and show you guys today, but you can stitch in hand. So you can really easily just take your fabric out of the hoop. It's not necessary at all. Some people like a stand or a frame, but if that was out of there, all I do is hold that up in my hand, and it, you know, the fabric naturally softens with use, and you just hold it like that.
So it's just down to personal choice then?
It is.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And those little storage pouches as well with the needle minders that come with them here, if you are collecting them or you've got more than one, You can keep them all in there if you want to switch them around with your projects. If you've got scissors, any other accessories, keep them all in there. They're all in one place.
It's a good size little
if you're
pouch,
travelling,
isn't it? Yeah.
stitching sort of while you, I don't know, in a waiting room or sports event
point,
or whatever.
Yeah. And these particular kits, I mean, obviously we're getting back into the swing now of perhaps having to go take the kids to football matches and things like that, and you're sitting in the car waiting. Then this is the sort of thing that quite easily, as you saw there, you can kind of roll up, pop into the glove box and then work on it.
Absolutely,
or taking it to work, if you've just got half an hour that
is.
you've got left in your lunch hour, you can sit quite easily.
Yeah, rather than sitting on your phone, you're kind of creating something.
Or taking it off to the caravan as well.
And then I'm just finishing that off on the back there. And if you want to, if you are doing something on the back, finishing off the thread, you can put the needle on the back as well.
Yes.
And then I'm just going to trim off the ends really close to the stitched area, like that, as close as possible, so that there's no funny ends. And then ready to start again with the next section.
Love it. So clever. It just makes it so easy, and it builds up over time. You can see there, obviously we've been having a chat with Sally as well, but she's been stitching away, and you can see quite easily you can build up these designs over a series of nights or weeks or months or years. You don't get a prize for completing it any sooner than the next person, but what you do get is the satisfaction that you've taken that blank canvas, that piece of Aida fabric, and you have created stitch by stitch that fabulous design you can see there. These are heirloom pieces as well, so I know many of us will have ancestors or relatives that have created things that have passed on through the generations. You could be creating those, and of course it's a nice little project. Maybe if you've got a younger stitcher, I mean, you were talking about your younger kits, but it could be that an auntie or an uncle or a grandma is working alongside a younger member of the family and teaching them to stitch. They could stitch a flower, and they could be a part of that
legacy. Yeah. It's not just about sort of the stitching, it's about the experience that you have while doing it. And yeah, that's an amazing example of then sharing the craft with a family member, a younger generation, and they grow up and pass it on to their kids or grandchildren. And it's the experience, the bonding.
Yes,
and yeah, especially younger people really proud of sort of what they've created. And we do have people coming through now, kind of teenagers or sort of early 20s, who have gone, oh, my mum or my grandmother, I remember doing this with them years ago, and now they'll get one of sort of the more modern kits.
I've heard of him in the past. It goes on. It's just popped into my memory actually, and I can't think who it was. It was a friend, and they've got relatives in Australia, and they used to send across backwards and forwards. So one person would stitch a little bit, then they'd pop it in the post and send it across.
Amazing.
And then that person would stitch like the next element of it, and then they'd send it back again. And it's like everybody's a part of that whole thing.
It is, and I think it's because you're doing it with your hands as well. It's literally the love that goes into it, the time,
stitch,
you know. They're completely unique, even though you're following a pattern. Everyone kind of does it in different ways.
Yes. How
you finish off, which section you do first, how it builds up. So when you get that as a gift, or even if you just keep it yourself and you pass it on, it's almost part of that person. It's not just a throwaway.
So easy. I mean, you just talked about two little stitches, one on top of the other that cross over. With regards to those, do you have to make sure that one particular stitch sits on the top in a certain direction, or does it matter?
I mean, I do. So we start bottom left corner to the top right. So you can see I'm doing that here. So bottom left to top right. And I do that for all the stitches.
Okay.
And then the top stitch that sits on the top is from the top left to the bottom right.
So they all lay the same way.
They all lay the same. And we've detailed it in the instructions. You don't have to do it like that if you don't want to. Or you can do a mix and match. The only thing is, and if you look at that one, when the light catches it, you can see all those top stitches are laying the same way.
So
it's consistent. But to be honest, you know, there's no such thing as mistakes. They're all unique, they're personal. So if you want to do it the other way around, if you're a beginner, there aren't any rules with this.
Definitely.
As long as you're sticking to the grid, you can't go wrong.
That's it. Now, if you're wanting something a little bit more manageable, perhaps the piece that we're seeing at the bottom, the Bloom and Grow kit, maybe that's a little too large for you. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, I like the idea, but I know my attention span. I'm one of these people that is thinking I can cope with a bumblebee, I can cope with a beehive, I can cope with the honeycomb, but I don't know whether I can cope with it all in one go, doing a larger design. Then this is a lovely little one, and it's just so neat, and you can see how that natural flow that you've got is down to the way that those stitches are formed, with that base stitch going in one direction, that top stitch going across in the other. We're getting busier. Lots of you making your final decisions with regards to these kits, and I am so pleased. You are loving them so much. Loads of brand new items today as well. So if you have seen Sally here before, and of course you've seen Caterpillar cross stitch, then you could be adding to your collection with regards to these. And if you are watching on a repeat, hopefully you've managed to get hold of some of those items that you are looking at, because of course I can't give you updates when we're not here. Sally, I have to say, I love these designs. Now, I was talking about the trees a few moments ago, and the way that we've got different series for each of the seasons. Are we going to be seeing one for the summer?
I have designed Hello Sunshine, which is the summer tree, and actually a toucan does feature in the summer tree.
Oh, we got a sneaky peek there,
and you can kind of see from the colours of the toucan how bright it's going to be. But it's not released yet, so no one's seen it.
Oh, okay.
You know, me and a couple of the team have seen it, but that's it. So that will probably be ready in the next few months.
Oh, okay.
So it's a stitch along at the moment, and then it will be released as a full kit, and I can come back on and you'll have all 4 trees in one go.
Oh, that sounds like a fabulous idea. And if you want a little insight into the colour of the toucan as the needle minder, it might be something you want to get ready and get hold of it in advance. Now, you've got all your different options, your owl, robin, flowers, chick, toucan and hedgehog, all under the same item number. But if you're wanting to get hold of the toucan, just be aware that rapidly approaching 40% of the stock has gone. The hedgehog has been popular throughout, as have the owl and also the robin as well. In fact, the hedgehog, over 80% of the stock has gone. So if you are watching on a repeat, I'm hoping that you still manage to get hold of that particular one. Yeah, they're all really cute, to be honest. Doesn't matter which one you're going for. Of course, they've got the practical elements of those. And you were talking about your stitch alongs and social media. How do we track you down?
So on Facebook, we are Caterpillar Cross Stitch. We've also got a Facebook group called Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I think it's just called Caterpillar Cross Stitch Sales, but you don't have to be doing a stitch along any project, or even if you haven't done a Caterpillar Cross Stitch kit before and you just want some tips and tricks or support, join the community. Lots of people don't know another stitcher who lives near them, and they're doing it at home sort of by themselves. This way you've got thousands of friends from all over the world. Instagram, we are at Caterpillar Cross Stitch. YouTube videos, if you want another demonstration, hop over there. That channel is just called Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And with the stitch alongs, actually the flamingo behind me is part of the Hello Sunshine.
Oh, okay.
So that's another sneak peek along with the toucan.
Oh, you're teasing us again, Sally. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, the Caterpillar, this was the first design, was it? Was it for you, a nursery? Did you do the Caterpillar?
Yes, I did. I started for my daughter's nursery and we did an alphabet, a modern alphabet.
Fabulous. Been busy during this particular hour. So all the zest is another popular item. This is the one with all those fabulous fruits there, the summer fruits, which I think will potentially work alongside your toucan, to be honest, if you've gone for your toucan as your needle minder and you can't wait for that summer kit. £15.90 if you're wanting this particular one, 708366. And finally, another brand new one to us today is the fabulous little pea stuff, as you can see there. Absolutely beautiful. So if you're wanting to get hold of that one, the details are there on your screen. And of course, the large kits that we've been speaking of, this is the latest one that's been added into the collection, the Hello Petal, and that's where we will see that Hello Sunshine come in a few weeks. It'll be worth the wait. Sally, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me here.
Do we know when you're back again?
Not sure.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on the schedule though. It won't be too long, I'm sure. So yeah, anything in your basket, especially if it's one of those needle minders, you need to be checking your baskets out. But do stay tuned, we've got lots more coming up here at the craft store after the break. See you in a bit.